my friends, and welcome to Paulina Art. Today I'm going to be painting this pretty Christmas centerpiece with a red candle and some poinsettias. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial. I'm going to show you step by step how to create the background, how to sketch the centerpiece, how to paint the candle, the flowers, and how to finish this painting. If you would like to see how I created this pretty Christmas centerpiece painting, stay with me and let's paint together. The colors that I'm using today are titanium white, lamp black, purple, sap green, medium yellow, yellow ochre, and brilliant red. Of course, you can use similar acrylic colors that you have at home. Today, I'm working on 9 by 12 canvas board, which I have prepared the night before with a coat of gesso. I'm going to sketch with gray Crayola chalk, and the first thing I'm going to do is divide the canvas in the center here, and again across. This gives me 4 quadrants of similar size, and I can easily place the elements that I want on this painting. Now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to place the candle, and the candle is going to be around here. It's just a rectangular shape, and it's going to come up the same at the top that it is at the bottom. So I'm going to do a rectangle cylinder shape here, and this is going to be the candle. Actually, I'm going to make it a little bit shorter because I want the flame and everything in there. So I'm going to bring it down a bit like this. And with my liner brush, I'm going to pick up the black color. I'm going to trace the candle. This way it's not going to disappear under the layers of paint. The candle is about a little bit over 3 inches tall and about 2 inches wide. While this dries, I'm going to mix some of the background colors, and I'm going to pick up purple and white, and I'm going to add a drop of black. I want a dark grayish purple, and I'm going to put some painter's tape across to separate the top from the bottom where the candle is sitting. And with a damp sponge, I'm going to pick up some of this color that I've mixed, and I'm going to add it on the outer part of the surface. And I'm going to add some white to these colors, just mixing with a sponge. And I'm going to add this color now. I'm adding some white with a sponge in this area. This is the area where the flame is going to be. And I'm going to add more of this purpley gray around this area, just nice and soft. going to keep working until I'm happy with the blending. Okay, once I'm happy with the background and the blending, I'm going to remove this painter's tape. And I'm going to use a large brush to paint the bottom where the candle is sitting. And I'm going to be using the same dark purpley black that I use for the outer part. And I'm just going to paint this area. And I added more white just to lighten it up a bit towards the back here. And I'm going to paint all this area with this purpley gray color. And I'm doing nice long strokes with this brush. It's very helpful to do backgrounds. Okay, I'm going to allow this to dry for a few minutes. Okay, the paint is now dry to the touch, and I'm going to retrace the candle. And I'm going to use white chalk. And I'm going to come down here three inches. It's about 2 inches wide. I'm going to be using now a small round brush, and I'm going to mix yellow ochre with red. I'm going to create a nice orangey color, and I'm going to put this as a base coat for the candle. Because yellow ochre is very opaque, it's going to cover the purple underneath, and I'll be able to apply the red later. Make sure it's a bright red without this purple showing through. I'm going to cover all this black as well that I did to trace the candle initially. While this dries, I'm going to start adding color to the area where the flame is going to be. And I'm going to be using a medium size round brush, and I'm going to pick up white and a dot of yellow, and the flame is going to be up here, so I'm going to start adding some of this yellow around the area where the flame is going to be. And I can blend it with a clean brush. Now I'm picking up just the yellow. I'm intensifying the color, and again I'm going to blend. And I'm going to add a drop of red to the yellow. I want a soft orange. Now I'm going to add this as well. And again, I'm going to blend with a clean brush. Okay, this creates the nice warm effect of the flame of the candle. And I'm going to pick up some of the same orange and just put it inside in this area of the candle. I want this candle to be old-fashioned and have drips coming down. This is going to be the lightest part of the candle, so I'm going to add some of that orange. The paint is still wet underneath, but that's okay. It's going to blend better. I'm going to add some shine like this with a warm orange. And some shine on the side and some in here. I'm using yellow now just to intensify these colors. I'm going to add yellow in here as well. I have red now on the brush. This is the red that I'm using. Going down on the candle, and at the top I'm rounding it up a bit. I'm going to add some of this red at the top here. I have yellow, and I'm going to add some shine around the candle, going down on this side. I'm going to add some dripping with the orange. I think this makes it look nice. Have more yellow just to make it a little bit lighter like that. I have white on the brush, and I'm going to add some highlights from the light reflecting, and I'm going to add in here some highlights from the light that we are going to add later. I'm going to put a little bit of shine in here and on the drips. I'm going to add a little more yellow on the sides here, bit of a shine. Just to convey the roundness of the candle. Okay, let's finish the candle. I'm going to pick up brown and black on my liner brush. I want a very, very dark brown. And with this color, I'm going to do the wick of the candle right in the center here. Just like that. And to paint the flame, I'm going to use the small round brush, and I'm going to start mixing yellow with white. Basically the same colors that I did for the halo, the same colors I'm going to use for the candle, and I'm going to leave some white in the center. And I'm going to draw with this pale yellow the shape of the flame, like this, leaving white in the center. And then I'm going to go with the yellow, just the yellow color. And then I'm going to add the orange at the top like this. I can add some movement to the flame. I'm going to add some of this orange in there. Just dotting the brush. And I can add more white, only in the center though. And I can add more white here. Just reflections from the flame. Okay, the candle and the flame is done. You can add in this painting pine cones, branches, berries, ornaments, whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to add a nice centerpiece with poinsettias. And to sketch the poinsettias, I'm going to use white chalk. Before you sketch the poinsettias, the candle has to be dry to the touch. Okay, this is the center of the candle, right in here. I'm going to draw a poinsettia in here. So I'm just going to do an oval like this. That's going to be one poinsettia. The other one is going to be here. I'm going to make it a little bit lower than this one, just so it's not the same. This one is going to come in front like this. And this one is going to be more so behind. And this is the center of the candle. I'm going to do another one right in here. So I have 3 ovals. The center of this poinsettia is going to be in here, facing this way. The center of this one, that way. So I'm doing a small oval. And this one is going to be facing up in here. Okay, what I'm going to do now is start drawing the leaves of the poinsettia. And they're all going to come from the center. And I want them nice, like a triangular shape, but with movement. And I want them longer and thinner, just because the leaves of the poinsettias are like that. And as we get lower and lower into this oval, the leaves get larger. The poinsettia leaves get larger as we come down onto the flower. Okay, let's do this one. I'm going to start doing 4 leaves at the top. I'm going to continue doing more leaves as I come down on the flower. I'm going to leave up here a video on poinsettias, on how an easy way on how to draw these flowers. And if you check my videos, I have a few poinsettia tutorials. Okay, I want lots of leaves in these poinsettias, and then the one in the center. And it doesn't matter if the leaves overlap one another with the ones on the sides. I'm just drawing larger and larger leaves towards the bottom. And this is just to give us a starting point. I'm going to put a base coat on the poinsettias because I don't want this purple to show through. And I'm going to mix more of the red with yellow ochre. I can add a drop of white as well, just to add opacity. And with this color, I'm going to paint the leaves, the upper leaves of the poinsettia, because the upper leaves are the ones that have color. They look like petals. And this is going to be a red poinsettia. I'm going to paint all the ones that I'm going to deem red. And the poinsettia right in here. I want to make sure none of the purple background is showing through the leaves. I'm going to put a base coat on the green leaves. And again, I'm going to mix the green color that I'm using with the yellow ochre to create a lighter green. And I can add a drop of white too. And with this color, I'm going to put the base for the green leaves. I'm going to pick up some red and I'm going to add a drop of purple. And with this color, I'm going to add a shadow from the poinsettia onto the candle right in here. Any part I see of the candle, I'm going to add this dark color. Like that. And I can even add some shadow from the drippings in here, just to give the candle more volume. And I can blend a little bit with a clean brush. It's very subtle. Okay, I'm going to pick up the red now, and I'm going to start adding the color to the poinsettias, to the red leaves. I'm using the small round brush. I have yellow now on the same brush, and I can add a bit of a highlight on the leaves that are closer to the candle. Just flicking a bit of yellow in there. To add some highlight to these leaves. I have the green color that I'm using now, and I'm going to add this nice rich dark green to the green leaves of the poinsettia. And again, I can add some yellow highlights to the ones closer to the flame. And I'm going to pick up some of the purpley red that I use for the shadow in here, and I can add a bit of this on some of the leaves on the center, just to add a little more dimension, and on the dark ones too. I have a Q-tip, and I'm going to add the centers of the poinsettias with the Q-tip. And I have green, and I'm just going to dab the centers. I'm also going to add some yellow just to give them a bit of a highlight. Once all the leaves are dry, you can pick up a dry brush and sweep away all the chalk marks we don't need anymore. Make sure everything is dry before you do this. With a small round brush, I'm going to pick up some of the dark purpley black that I use for the background, and I'm going to add some shadows in here from the poinsettias onto the ground. And I'm just very lightly doing this, just to give them more dimension. And I'm doing horizontal strokes like this to create the effect of the ground. I'm blending just with some water, not too much, but some. Okay, my friends, the painting is done. The last thing I did was splatter some of the red paint on top of the poinsettias, just to give it a more festive, painterly look. Okay, I'm going to give you a close-up. I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you learn something new. If you like this video, please give it a like, comment below, share with your friends, and subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss any future content from me. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on the next one.